Headache?
Oh, yeah, I think my neck must be out again.
Well, this is for the hard day.
Oh, thank you.
And this is for the headache.
Oh, lovely. Terry.
What's the matter? Too hard?
No, someone might come in.
All I was doing was giving you a massage.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want them to misinterpret anything.
All right, but I do think you're being a little bit overcautious.
No, just safe. People like Joyce Barry love a good gossip.
I hardly think a massage is enough to stir up a hornet's nest.
Well, I must admit the place hasn't been quite so bad since you've been around.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Of course, there have been times when the junior officer needed ticking off by the senior officer.
Perhaps I'd have a better chance to learn if we were both to live in the same house.
Same house?
Well, I was meaning to ask you about this earlier, but I've never quite found the right moment.
Oh, yeah, I suppose we could talk about
I'm
it.
afraid it's a little bit late for that now. You see, I've given notice on my flat. Either I move in with you or I end up with nowhere to stay. What about the 2 TVs? I know, we can put them side by side so we can watch the shows in stereo. Joan, relax. Everything's going to be fine.
Oh, I told you I wouldn't be much good at this sort of thing. Listen, I know what we should do. We should organise a roster so that, you know, we can get into the swing of things. Now, for instance, I could take the bathroom every morning, but...
Joan, what? Little details like that will work themselves out as we go along. Just let things happen, okay?
Look, it mightn't seem like it, but I'm glad you're here.
I know. I know what we can do with the extra TV. We can put it in the bedroom so we can watch telly in bed.
Oh, but I don't watch TV in the... Oh. All right, well, I'll give you a hand with it. G'day. Hope I didn't wake you when I left this morning.
Slept like a log. It's a very quiet neighbourhood.
Yeah. Didn't you want a cup of coffee before you start work?
It must be my turn to make you one.
Oh, well, I won't say no.
By the way, I've organised with a friend to bring a few more things over after work.
Oh, good.
I suppose I better phone a few of my mates, too, and tell them I've moved in with you.
Morning, Terry. Miss Ferguson.
Hey, Joyce.
Did I hear you say you two had moved in together into Miss Ferguson's house, I mean? Oh, that's marvellous.
Frankly, I don't see that it's any of your business.
It's only us.
Yeah, so that you can turn it into the usual garbage that you and your gossipy mates feed on. Oh, this is typical, isn't it? I mean, I help one of my colleagues out, and what happens? I get stabbed in the back.
There's no need to get so angry about it. I'm sure she didn't mean it that way.
I certainly did not. And if you don't want your private life discussed at work, I suggest you don't talk about it here. Excuse me.
When I was leaving, he ups and says, I hope you have a wonderful time in Japan, Miss Reynolds.
Good one. Great, isn't it? Pippa, this is Joan. Joan Ferguson. Pippa Reynolds, Joan. Pippa's just been telling me the funniest story.
Hello, John. I've heard a lot about you from Anne.
Must have made for a very interesting conversation.
Anne must be through by now. Okay if I find my own way?
Must be nice to have relatives in high places. Some of us have to earn our appointment.
From what I hear, Miss Ferguson, a lot of people are looking forward to the day when you get what you've earned. And just for your information, my qualifications speak for themselves. I certainly don't need my mother's influence to get me jobs, especially unpaid ones.
Well, I've got to say you asked for that.
Want a coffee?
No, thanks.
How long are you going to keep this up?
What?
This no-speaking business. I'm not into playing games, Terry.
I'm not playing any game. I'm disappointed,
well,
that's all.
I didn't mean to make you feel bad. Perhaps I was jealous. And she's very attractive and much nearer your age.
Oh, age has nothing to do with it. Just trust me, please.
I do. And I'm sorry. Maybe I did overreact. Well, I'm just not used to, well, having a friend, and perhaps I'm not very good at it.
Don't worry about it. Just relax and everything will work out, believe me. It will.
Yeah, we'll see.
Every time he tried to kiss me, the seat collapsed and he ended up flat on his back. Luckily, the evening was saved by the police.
What?
It appears we parked near a factory, so they thought we were going to break in.
Oh, what happened?
Well, the seat collapsed for the third time, didn't it? So they knew exactly what had been going on. Hello. Move along here, please.
And quite right, too. How old were you?
Oh, 17, I suppose. He must have been 19. It all seems so silly now. Especially now.
Thank you.
Well, then. I'll just go and powder my nose and we'll move along home.
Sounds fine to me.
Won't be.
Everything satisfactory, I hope?
Oh, yes, very nice, thank you.
Would you like some more coffee or port?
No, thanks.
I trust your daughter was satisfied with the meal?
Yes. We'll have the bill now, thank you.
Certainly, madam.
You take things too much to heart. He was only a stupid waiter, for heaven's sake.
You won't be the last one to mistake me for your mother.
So what's wrong with that? You wouldn't be the only mother with an ugly daughter. Oh, come on. We were having such a good time before this happened. Why get upset? I'm not embarrassed to be in your company.
Aren't you?
No.
Then why haven't you told your parents about us?
Subjects never come up, that's all. I'd tell them if they asked. It's just not something you can throw into general conversation, is it? You don't believe me, do you? Well, say something, for God's sake.
I think we should end this now before we both get hurt.
But why? Just because some idiot made a crack about our age difference?
Oh, there's more differences than that.
There are in all relationships. It's what we feel for each other that counts, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Then stop seeing problems that aren't there. Please.
No.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, what's wrong?
Well, look at it. Here we are playing the big heavies in uniform, and when we go home, it's so different.
Shh, Terry.
There's no one around.
Oh, you never know.
Don't be so paranoid.
I'm not. It's just that... Well, it doesn't hurt to be careful.
Yes, Joan, if anyone does find out, we're just living together, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh. Well, it's just that... Oh, you know.
All right, back to playing the heavies.
I'm not surprised.
Thought you finished at 4. Went shopping.
No, I stayed back. Do you want a coffee?
You sit there, I'll put the kettle on.
Great. Any mail?
Yep, on the table there. One from Shane.
Terry,
In a second.
not in a second now.
Water has to boil first, you know.
This letter, it's been opened.
Well, yeah, I didn't think you'd mind.
Well, I do mind. Don't ever open my mail again.
Joan, it's only from
I don't
Shane.
care if it's a circular from the local supermarket, Terry. Just because you've moved in here doesn't give you the right to pry into my private affairs. Understood?
I honestly didn't think you'd mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Terry. I should have realised you didn't mean any harm.
I never thought you could be that cruel to me, Joan.
Yes, well, it was thoughtless of me. I shouldn't have snapped at you.
You don't really want me here, do you?
Of course I do.
Well, I certainly don't feel very wanted.
Terry, I want you here very much.
You must be Joan.
Yes.
I'm David Malone. This is my wife, Marjorie. We're Terry's parents. Joan, do you think she's serious about this job?
Of course she isn't. She isn't the type. Besides, we know our own daughter. Better than Joan, anyway.
I thought so, too. Once.
Oh, that must be Terry now. Where the hell have you been?
See what happened to Hi, Terry, dear? It's good to see you.
Just a minute. I've been entertaining your parents for the last hour.
I'm sorry. I did try to get home earlier to explain everything, but I got held up at the supermarket.
Terry, this must have been arranged before today. Why didn't you warn me?
You wanted me to tell them, didn't you?
Oh, Terry, you can't tell them. Look, I know them now. And they couldn't take it.
And it's not a crime, Joan. We are not criminals. We are two people who happen to love each other.
Terry,
I love you.
Well, be a moment, Mrs. Malone.
Terry, you don't mean that.
Honey?
Father, I want to go home.
Honey, I'm sorry you had to go to here.
Don't touch me. Father, please.
Darling, what's happened?
Go home, and I want to go home now.
Please make us stay. I want to explain everything. You want Mummy, please. Daddy, do something.
Terry, not now.